Because when we first had it, it wasn't that bad, but
Yeah, I don't remember it being unpalatable.
Yeah, I thought it was okay the first time we had it. That's why when we had it again, I was surprised that it.
it's probably the garage.
Something.
Because it was sitting in the garage for a little while in one of the drawers I have in there.
Well, and it could be another one of those whiskeys that cigars just don't do any favors for. There are certain whiskeys that cigars just make all the wrong flavors jump.
Oh,
Well, now wait. With Kevin's, so what? You're like, let's think here. In Minden, right?
Yes.
The heat goes from about. It's got that fluctuation, right? So
Yeah.
could we age barrels in Kevin's garage?
The problem is
Theoretically, you could age them anywhere.
we could hit over 99, 108. I think
Listen,
was our
if they're
highest.
aging whiskey in Texas, we can age them anywhere in the country.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Nothing's off limits at that
Mind
point.
you,
Yeah, but
it's a lot
all the
more
Texas,
humid.
all the Texas whiskeys have that mesquite smoke taste.
I think that's the oak they use. I think they use a different wood.
I thought they
think
just
they
poured
use
liquid
Texas-
smoke in all of them.
I don't know. Well, but for the ones they call bourbon, they have to use white oak. I don't know. I haven't found a Texas bourbon that I like yet.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
working on
like I
it.
said,
I just
they
haven't.
have that mesquite taste. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So this is much better than that.
That's fair.
This is the Stagg Batch 22A, which came out somehow after 22B. Actually, I know how. They fucked up the labels on 22A. Or at least that's what they said. So it got released late. But Stagg, I've told you guys, outside of like the, I'm paying $1,000 or more for this bottle,
Yes.
this is probably my favorite bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
Outside of the stuff that you're just paying obscene prices for. Like all the unobtainium stuff.
So, but this isn't like $1,000 bottle.
No, I mean, you can see it you'll find it on secondary for people trying to get $500-$600 for it.
Oh, that's a bit much.
But you still, if you're paying attention, you can still find it. You can get it for $100.
Okay.
I mean, it sells, if you actually find it retail, I think it's like 58. But it's so rare to find it for retail.
Would that be like in Total
Total Wine,
Wines?
yeah.
Yeah, if it randomly showed up. Although Total Wine, you guys, I don't think you've tried it. In fact, I have a bottle, but I've never opened it just because I've never found occasion to. But Buffalo Trace does a bottle, it's sort of in the Blanton's, Rock Hill, Elmer T. Lee line.
Yeah.
Called Hancock's Presidential Reserve or President's Reserve or whatever. It's the least popular of the line. And it's supposed to be $42 or something. And Total Wine is selling it on the shelf for $199. And it's just camping.
That sounds familiar.
All over California.
I feel like I've seen that bottle.
Just camping.
Does it
one's
have
buying
the Hancock like signature on it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. Anyway, so this is Stagg. And I've had, the one that I've opened to the house now is 18. I have some 22B, but I haven't opened it.
Oh, so you have the 18B?
No, 18 is just 18.
Oh.
So it used to be Stagg Junior, and then they're like, we're going to rename it. We're just going to make it Stagg. So then they took the Junior off. But then the batching, so 17 was the last one that had Junior.
Okay.
18 was just Stagg.
Just
But they
Stagg.
still called it Batch 18.
Okay.
Batch 19 wasn't Batch 19. It was 22B. Batch 20, if you're going on the same old numbering system, is 22A.
What the hell?
So now it's just 22. And in the future, it's going to be reversed, right? This was just a labeling error.
Gotcha.
So now 23A is out, which came out after this one.
Yep. Okay.
And that's the first in the 23 series. So that one will probably go 23A, 23B, probably not a 23C.
So
'Cause
20,
then-
23 is the year?
I think that's what it's going to be is the year.
Okay, so the reason it goes from 19 to 22 is because of COVID?
No, that's just because they changed it and it took them a couple of labels to figure out how they wanted to change it, I guess.
Okay. It wasn't just COVID.
No.
Blame COVID for everything.
But now it's just going to be 23A, 23B. So some years there's 2, some years there's 3.
Okay.
It's all supposed to be between 7 and 9 years, I think.
Oh.
And it's just good. What do you think? I mean, it's really high proof, so I didn't expect this to be up your alley, Casey.
Well, it's a little spicy, for sure. But it's palatable spicy. And the aroma is just fantastic. Although a little bit strong. Like
Yeah, you definitely want to hold it a little away from your
Yeah,
nose.
you can definitely, like, the closer you get, the more you're like, oh, there's alcohol in there.
Yeah.
But from away, you're like, oh, what a pleasant aroma that is. little bit of caramel, a little spice, a little bacon spice. And then you said molasses, right?
I don't get a lot of spice. I get a little bit of spice,
Like it's just like a subtle, like
Like a
Like a
subtle
sprinkling.
spice. Yeah.
but not like rye spice, like
No.
traditional baking spices.
yeah, almost cinnamon,
I can smell that.
like a little maybe brown sugar.
I buy brown sugar.
Yeah.
See, my problem with caramel is it's just a little the note is a little bit darker than I think of for caramel.
Okay.
It's not that pure, unadulterated sweetness. It's like a stewed sweetness almost, like a molasses or a brown sugar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I get brown sugar, and I think I mistake that for cinnamon every now and then
Okay.
because I feel like they're kind of similar.
I mean, I wouldn't think so, but whatever.
Well, at least
that's how they come
in
across to you,
alcohol,
if that's how they come across
when
to you.
when I smell them in alcohol, they seem similar.
Any fruits?
Ooh, maybe
I get a little bit of red apple.
I was gonna say apple, some kind of like an apple pie.
Well, that would put together cinnamon, brown sugar, and apple.
Apple pie
So that would make sense.
with molasses. Apple pie.
What about you, Kevin? What do you think?
I love the smell of it. I've already almost drinking it.
I was about to say, he's like,
Where'd it go?
He was like, I love the smell of it.
It's
so
so
good.
good.
As he's drinking the whole thing now. Daddy needs a little more medicine.
I will say that to me, the finish isn't quite there.
Really?
It doesn't last. Like, it's nice, but it goes away relatively quick.
It is a hitter. It's like, boom. Done.
Yeah, I will say I think that's the one downside of the proof. Unless it's really well aged. The burn from the proof sort of outlasts the finish itself.
Yeah. Because I still get the slight burn on the sides.
Yeah.
But once it dissipates, you don't really have much of a finish.
There's something else in there. I don't know what it is that I really like.
Like a flavor?
Yeah, like a flavor. But
Okay.
I can't put my finger on it.
What kind of flavor?
It's on the back of the tongue.
Okay.
It comes with the viscosity. Like whatever I'm thinking of in my head also has that sort of like lingering density.
Chocolate syrup.
No, it's not chocolate syrup.
Maple syrup.
Nope, it's not maple syrup. It's not entirely dissimilar from maple syrup, but it's not maple syrup.
Virginia syrup.
You're just sticking with the syrups, aren't you?
You're just making stuff up. at this point.
Virginia makes syrup.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not very good. It's very bitter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a bitter syrup, but
No. It's, I don't know, I'll think of it. All right.
to
You
me
guys
it has kind of like a cough syrup viscosity.
I mean, I don't get any medicinal qualities to it.
No, just
other than
like
maybe the
like
viscosity.
the viscosity.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I think of the viscosity for this one. It coats enough of the palate and the tongue, like cough syrup does. So it kind of like sits there for a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it's not hot. The heat goes away really quick, which I like. But I get what you're saying. There's something on the back there, like something extra.
Yeah. It's almost like a savory note,
Yeah.
which is what I liked about 18 so much.
Oh, was it more savory?
18, it stood out a little bit. This is a little bit sweeter, I think, than 18.
Oh, okay.
All right, I should do some grades.
What is that on the back? What is that?
Right? What is it?
Yeah. You're better at describing things than we are.
Yeah, for sure.
you have big words. I'm like,
All right. So,
Let's see.
Where's that right
I'm
there?
looking at the chart and
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that's right. There's a chart, isn't there?
Is-
4.
It's not a leather, is it?
No.
What you said it was? It's savory.
Yeah, he said more of
Okay.
a savory.
What's the blend on this? There's no rye in it, right?
No, there's rye in this.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, not
Some
much.
rye.
Even their high rye is pretty low rye.
Okay. Could it be just the rye? Oh, is it on the
No,
back end? No.
It's not rye. No, it reminds me of a thing. Like there's some food product that I've had that has that exact same feel on the back of my tongue, and I just can't place it.
Butter. Yeah, I don't think I'll
Actually,
be able to help
I
you
do
with
think now that I've let it sit, there is a little butter in there.
Yeah.
A little bit, a little hint of buttery.
You know what it
Yes.
is? It is butter, but it's not butter. Did you ever make cinnamon toast? Not cinnamon toast crunch, but actual cinnamon toast as a kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Butter and cinnamon
And sugar,
and sugar.
and then toasted?
Yeah.
It's that.
Ah.
It's 100% that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because as it sits, if you just let it sit for a little while, as it dissipates, the last thing you kind of have on your palate is just like that butter, like leftover butter. It's just right
Yeah,
there.
it's actual cinnamon
Yeah.
toast.
There we go.
Cinnamon toast.
I helped, I guess.
Without the crunch.
Yeah,
No-
but,
no
and
crunch.
way too much butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're like, it's gonna melt.
You like lathered it in butter before you sprinkled the cinnamon and sugar on and threw it in the toaster.
I never did that in the toaster. I always did it in a pan because my mom would yell at me if I put anything in the toaster.
Why did we had toaster ovens? We didn't have toasters.
I never had a toaster oven. I just had a toaster and a stove.
Oh yeah, we'd throw it in the toaster oven. Like you put the butter, you spray it off thin enough that you don't have to spread it on the bread before it's toasted. So it's just a layer. And then you sprinkle cinnamon and sugar, and then you throw it in the toaster oven.
So, do you think an
that's so
air
good.
fryer would do a similar thing?
I don't know, I've never tried.
Kind of want to try it.
I've never
now.
used an air fryer.
Yes, I think an air fryer would do the same thing.
All right, what'd you guys come up with for grades?
So
Kevin?
I gave it a 17 for the nose, 36 for the palate, 10 for the viscosity, and 10 for the finish,
Okay.
with the total coming out to 73.
All right. Casey.
I had to check my math for a second. I did 18 for the nose, 40 for the palate, 11 for viscosity, and 11 for finish.
Okay.
So mine's an 80.
Okay. 17 for the nose,
Okay.
45 for the palate. Because
Oh.
there's something about it I just love.
Yeah, this is your baby.
14 for viscosity, and 12 for the finish,
Oh.
and an 88, which I believe is the highest I've scored
I
anything.
I would think
entirely
that
true.
you are supposed to be the low score guy,
Yeah.
and you just blew this one out of the water.
Yeah, this time it was Casey.
Was I the lowest?
No, you were in the middle. I was the lowest.
Yeah. Okay.
So what are we sitting at, like an 81 average?
That's what
Average?
I'm getting to. Is
Carry the 2.
Yeah.
Divided by 3.
That's the thing. I was in the middle of it. Then you said that and just nope.
Give it
And then it was gone.
prime plus 1.
5 plus 1. 4, 71.
God, that's good.
Are you doing long division? What's going on?
Well, no, I got mixed up because you were talking to me and just fucked it off. And I'm just like, yeah,
What are we doing
it's
here?
that.
What's going on?
What happened?
So it comes out to like an 80.3.
Wow. All right.
It's up there.
Yeah.
I think the proof hurt it with you guys. I really do.
No, I really like it. I just,
Yeah, I mean, I for finish, mine was pretty high. Usually I'm like 10 or lower.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this proof is really quick. Like that heat's really quick, but then it goes away.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. I
All
didn't
right.
feel it like burn my innards all the way down.
Who do you recommend it to?
Oh man.
an experienced drinker.
Someone who is okay with proof.
Correct.
Yeah, someone who likes it hot.
Someone who likes it hot but still wants that good flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is part of the problem is that a lot of those flavors don't pop until you get to a certain proof point.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Something about the alcohol brings them out.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I get so much more flavor out of higher proof whiskeys that have been aged than lower proof whiskeys at the same age.
Interesting.
And the finish, I think, is going to be better almost every time. Because that viscosity that you get from the alcohol is going to help the finish linger.
Okay.
Now, that said, the finish has to be really good. Otherwise, the proof is going to overpower it.
Right. It has to be a balancing act.
Yeah, it is. All right. Stagg 22A. They like it.
Pick
I
it
think
up
it's
if
great.
you find it. Is it still in stores? No.
No, they're on to 23A.
All right, so
Well, it depends on where you're at, right? Because the distribution for this is really strange because distributors are kooky.
Okay.
So, like, this didn't come out in Nevada until 3 weeks ago,
Oh.
and 23A was already out on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. So it may or may not be in a store near you.
When it shows up, who knows?
Oh, perfect.
And I'm sure a bunch of places are going to have it tucked away for their good customer lotteries or whatever. A lot of people are going to have it in the back still.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to have it marked up to some stupid number, like the place in Incline, I think, is $500.
Oh.
I think Dart is $600.
Oh.
So it's just going to camp there
Okay.
for really long periods of time
Yeah, it is.
in the bourbon museums.
Perfect.
And you're gonna be sitting there once you finish the bottle. You're like, I'm thinking about it, but not willing to pay that much.
Yeah, no, that's a little bit pricey. Like I would pay. Listen, you see a lot of people are like, I wouldn't pay more than retail for that. I would have no problem paying $150.
That's what I was thinking.
Like
Yeah,
if the funds were
yeah.
available, I'd pay $150 for it.
Yeah.
that wouldn't bother
that's-
me.
That's reasonable, I think.
After that, gets a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd much rather find it for $80.
Of course.
Like, at what price am I buying it every time I see it?
$80.
80 or under.
Yeah.
Every time, no questions.
Hands down.
150, it's like, oh, how much bourbon have I bought this week? Do I have any left?
Am I
You know what I
going?
mean?
Am I going to a special event? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'd still probably buy it, but I'd think about it. At $80, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Very fair.
All right. Stagg 22A.